I've done it for 30 plus years. I've done television at Melrose. This will be, I think, my 21st year of TV, and I did radio for goodness knows how many years before that, and presented Rugby Special for 6 years from here as well. So there's a lot of Melrose Sevens in my DNA as well. But I just feel in terms of broadcasting, time for somebody younger to come in and get a shot and enjoy the great adventure, because it's a privilege and it's an adventure. You never know what's going to happen. And I always feel when I get a live microphone and somebody cues you in the headphones and you start speaking to your country, because that's what it is, you're speaking to the folk in your country, that is an enormous privilege, not one to be taken lightly, one you have to work very hard so that you do a good professional job. But I've enjoyed it, and I use the word adventure rather than journey, because, as I say, you never know what's going to happen. And it's just been a fabulous time, and I've enjoyed it. I'm so grateful to the BBC for all the opportunities.
And of course you have your own style, but you learnt a lot from, obviously, your uncle Bill McLaren.
Well, my first international was 86 at Murrayfield, France against Scotland, and I was shaking like a leaf. And Bill came up to me half an hour before kick-off, and he just put his hand on my shoulder and says, "Now, Willie," he says, "you'll be excited, but save something for when it gets really exciting." And it was a very insightful piece of information and advice, because my heart rate was way up even before the kick-off. And if I'd gone on like that, I would have had nowhere to go when somebody scored a try, as the French did in the opening minute. And thank God it was Chris Ray who was doing it. Otherwise it could have been a very short broadcasting career for me. But over at Melrose here, Bill and I worked side by side for a number of years. And I used to love listening to the very measured tones and the way that he was so much in control of his own broadcasting. And I don't mean that in a nasty way, it was just that he was so comfortable with the whole thing. He knew what he wanted to say, he was at one with the atmosphere, the history of the whole Sevens scene, and he was at one with the technology of the BBC and what they required. Normally, the director would pull a shot and the commentator would follow it, but it worked the other way around with Bill. He used to commentate and the directors always tried to follow him because he was yards ahead of everybody else. But it was just great to work with. And I remember about my second time at Melrose, which is a huge challenge because there's 24 teams, 240 players. And I remember after my second time, and I worked my backside off to learn all the names of the visiting teams. Been over here Monday to Friday, swatting at night and all the rest. After the final, he turned to me and he says, "Bill, your identification was very good." And I thought, oh, Lord, take me now. I'll never get better than this.
Because Bill always said this was the best to do, but it was also a nightmare because of all the names. I mean, so many teams, 24 teams.
He used to describe it as his recurring nightmare. And I think he was half serious about it as well. It's a big challenge, and there's a massive amount of work. And it only, it starts weeks before, but on the day, because so many players are changed in the teams before they arrive at Melrose, the team sheet you've been given bears no resemblance in many cases to what actually takes the field. So, minutes before kick-off, you're frantically scribing down names and praying that the numbers are correct, because it's a numbers commentary that you have to do. When teams are out in the field and you haven't been able to see them all season, or if they've just flown in and arrived on the Friday night. So it's on a wing and a prayer at times. But, as Bill used to say, we just commend ourselves to the Almighty and get started.
I remember a couple of years ago.
He used to say, I used to laugh my head off at him. It was just so funny. A great mentor, though. Great mentor.
And of course you taught at Jedburgh High School, and I think you got one of the pupils wrong one year, didn't you? You got some stick for that.
Oh, I can't remember who it was, but I probably did. My nightmare has been the young brothers, the twins, but you and I know how we can sort them out, and I'll tell you, Stuart, and I know it won't go any further. I'll tell you that I was down on Thursday night at Riverside checking to make sure that they wear the right colour of boots, because that's the only way I can sort them out. They're so alike.
Red for Gregor and yellow for Lewis.
Gregor with an R-E in the Gregor has red with an R-E in the red boots, and that's it. And God forbid he should ever change his feet.
Well, just finally, Bill, what are you going to be doing now? Because, I mean, rugby's in your blood. You'll obviously still go along to matches, but, I mean, beyond that, what are you up to?
I'm going to join Jed Forest Rugby Club if they'll have me. I was a member years ago, but had to resign because of professionalism when I became a sort of broadcasting and writing journalist. So I've always supported the club, and you know, I've said I come from Hawick originally. I'm a Teary, and if you cut me open, I would bleed royal blue with a lot of green in it. But I'm going to try to join Jed Club, and I will follow the fortunes of Jed and support them through and through. I said to my wife Helen said to me, "What are you going to do?" But what we're going to do? I says, "We're going to walk the West Highland Way." "Where is it?" I says, "I haven't a clue." And I says, "I don't know why I said it, but we'll find out and we'll do it piecemeal." And that's something that we're going to try to do. Things like that, St Cuthbert's Way, and just do bits of walking and see a wee bit more of the country. And I know when politicians get the boot from Westminster, they always say, "Yes, I'm going to spend more time with my family." Well, I am. I'm going to spend more time with my wife because I've had to spend a lot of time in preparation for rugby, and it's taken a lot of time away. So the goddess and I will get out and about a wee bit more and see a wee bit more of Scotland, and spend a few more weekends together instead of me traipsing off to Glasgow and getting home at the wee small hours of the following morning.
But of course, there will be knocks on the door saying, "Bill, could you just do this one little thing?" What's your reaction going to be to that?
Maybe, possibly, perhaps. It's very difficult. Stuart, broadcasting commentary of rugby is very addictive. It is really, really addictive. And when you get a live microphone and you get this enormous privilege of bringing the game and all the colour and the action and the personalities to the people in your country, it's a huge privilege, but it also kind of grips you. I think it's something to do with the adrenaline rush that you get. God forbid that should ever go. But I don't know. Will I do more? I've been asked by the SRU and their SRU online TV station if I would do some games for them, so I've said yes to that. And I'm going to use that as a gentle wind down next season, but it won't be as regular as the BBC work has been. And in that sense, it'll be quite pleasant just to do the occasional one and meet all my pals again. I've met so many nice people in this broadcasting medium. The guys, the press men. I was saying before, the broadcasters are a strange bunch, but I'll tell you what, they are utterly sensible compared to the written press men who are wonderful. And we've had great times, lovely meals together and weekends spent in each other's company at rugby internationals. And I'm going to miss that. I will miss that. But I'll see them occasionally and we'll chew the cud and shoot the breeze, as they say, and catch up on old times, and it'll all be good. And it's just one chapter closes, Stuart, and another chapter opens. I don't know who the BBC will put in to do the radio commentaries. All I know is I am not indispensable. Somebody else will be along and they'll be every bit as good, indifferent, bad, depending on your taste. It'll be somebody else will come along, and I wish them the best of luck because it is a great job.
Well, you've entertained us with your commentaries for many years, and have a great retirement.
Stuart, thank you very much. Always been a pleasure.